Good morning. I am Hemavati, Faculty of Information Technology. I am going to handle the subject Information Storage and Management. And my area of interest is Big Data Analytics and the specialization is Data Science. And this session we are going to see about the introduction to Information Storage and Management. At the end of the session, you will be able to describe what is data and what are the various amounts of data has been created and describe the importance of your information to individuals and the businesses and what is the difference between the data and information and what are the various categories of data. First, we'll see why information storage. Now, we are in the digital world, that is, digital universe. It may be called it as information explosion. The 21st century is otherwise called it as information era. The information has been created in a faster way. So, we live in an on-demand and on-demand world. That is, for example, you can say the social networking sites, emails, videos, and any photos, online shopping, search engines, whatever it is. Okay, without all these things, we could not imagine our real world today. So lots and lots of information has been created in daily life from the social networking sites, and we are generating many emails and we taken many photographs and we created an what is that animated video or and we created some audios and we would like to share these things to our friends and for the social networking people. Okay, so because of this the data has been created in a faster way. So we'll see some of the examples. Okay, so 50 million photos have been taken every year. This is one survey, and in England the other survey says approximately it has 4 million surveillance cameras and one for approximately every 14 Britons. And if you take Facebook, than me, you are so familiar in the Facebook and all. Okay, in day-to-day life, how much photos have been generated, how much data have been generated, how fast the communication is, all these things. Okay, Facebook is a very good example of generating large volumes of data. So for example, 2 to 3 terabytes of photos are being uploaded on the sites every day, and 1 petabyte of photo storage is there, and it has a photo traffic now peaks at over 3 lakhs images served per second. This is the data survey from the Facebook. And we'll see the need of the information storage and management. Okay, so who is creating these kind of information? We ourselves. So we can call it as individual. Okay, so why we are generating? Some may be official purpose and some may be for the personal information. Okay, so information can be created by the individuals. Okay, so it gains value. When it gains value, while I'm taking one photo, it doesn't matter. So if I'm sharing that photo to 100 of my friends, okay, so in that case it gains value. I'm going to share the photo and I'm going to share it through Facebook or WhatsApp or whatever the communication modem it may be. Okay, so while I'm sharing the content to others, okay, so in that particular point it gains the value. Okay, so when created, this information can be locally available in your cell phones and cameras and laptops. Okay, so how you are going to share this information to others? Okay, so definitely we need a communication modem. That's nothing but your network. Okay, so it needs to be uploaded via the networks to your data center. From there it will be transmitted to the destination point. Okay, so the business, okay, so one thing is individual creation of data and other one is business data. Okay, so you can see even though you created the data, that means every individuals have created the data, it has been stored and it should be managed by the small number of the organization. Okay, so then only you can provide the reliable access to the information whenever the demand is increased. Okay, so the large volumes of information maintenance is a separate task. Okay, even though the organizations are maintaining the informations, so when the volume of the information increases, they need to provide the appropriate mechanism for managing that kind of information. And some of the business applications where the information resides: airline reservation, the telephone billing system and any e-commerce system, ATMs, email archives, web portals, and the healthcare records and credit cards, life science, and other inventory managements. Okay, in all these you can consider as a business applications where the data resides. And this is what the virtuous cycle of information, that means it's a cycle rotation of the information. Okay, so if I am creating the information, okay, so I can call it as a creator. In left side of this circle you can see one laptop and camera. From there I'm creating the information and it has been posted to the centralized information. Okay, so once it was stored in the centralized information, okay, anyone can access, the authorized people, if they want the information they can give the request to access the information. Okay, so the user, in the right side you can see one human photo. Okay, so the users of the information, they need the data so they can access the information from the centralized storage. Okay, once they received and they want to create any information, okay, further they can, based on the demand, the information can be created and that can be again forwarded through your creating medias. Okay, so and again it will be stored in your centralized. It's a kind of a cycle, so it is called it as a virtuous cycle of the information. And the network can be categorized into two ways, that is why it may be wired network or wireless network. And we'll see what is data. Any raw information, you can say number 10 is a data. Okay, so if I say my name Hema is a data, it's a character data. Number 10 is a numerical data. Okay, so I can show my data in different ways, that means handwritten way, and it can be showed in a printed way, or it may be the photograph, or it may be the audio also. Okay, so more convenient form, what is the more convenient form your data? It is in the digital data. Okay, so what is the purpose, or what is the speciality of your digital data? In the sense, so it is converted your data, whatever the type of data it may be, even it may be the text, audio, video, or whatever it is, it will be converted in the form of binary information, zeros and ones. See here, one video is there, one photo is there, one PDF image is there, and one email letter is there. Okay, whatever the input data it may be, if you want to convert into digital data, so it will be converted in form of binary, zeros and ones. Okay, so it is increasing in data processing capability, and it reduces the cost as well as faster communication. Okay, and it's flexible for the applications and the smart devices also. Okay, even though it is created by individuals or business. Okay, so the most convenient form of data is nothing but your digital data. And some examples of data is business data or research data. Business data can be customer data or product data, and the research data you can take any field. So for example, I have given the medical field and seismic field and all. Okay, so the customer data, in the sense, you can simply say I'm going to purchase one product. Okay, so the order detail, that is the data. Okay, and purchase history, that is also data. And shipping address, where to ship this particular product. Okay, so shipping address, that is also the customer data. And product data, in the sense, what is the price of the product. Okay, and what is the sales history, what is the inventory description, all these things can be considered as the product data. And comes under the research data. Why we need the research data? We need to analyze something from the existing information. Okay, in medical field I'm having the patient data. From the patient data, what I'm going to analyze, whether this patient is having the symptom of the particular disease. Okay, for example, I'm having the patient history. The patient is having the cough, and he is sneezing, and he's having the fever which is above 104 temperature, like this. So I could analyze whether this patient is having a COVID positive or not, like this. Okay, so the data which is related to healthcare industry, that means you can take any type of data. It may be the radiological images or medications or any insurance information, whatever it is. From that data, what you're going to analyze. Okay, so in what way it will be helpful for your research, that way you can say it is a research data. And similarly, seismic data, it's a other kind of data which are related to parameters of your earthquake. Okay, so and other relevant data which can be processed to derive some meaningful information. Okay, and this is what the categories of data. Okay, so that means how I can classify the data. Okay, so the major categories of data is nothing but structured data and unstructured data. The structured data is only 20%. The remaining 80% of data is nothing but your unstructured data. Why? Because the structured data, that is the DBMS, normally you studied database management systems, and also the data which you can able to show it in the form of rows and columns, okay, in a structured way, okay, or otherwise you can say spreadsheets. These are all comes under the structured data. The remaining all kinds of format, even for example in X-ray or some image and some forms or some PDF, web pages, voice, audio messages or movies, whatever it is. Okay, so remaining all types of data or comes under the unstructured. So majority portion is a unstructured data. So it can be what is that, show in a 80-20 ratio. 80% unstructured and 20% is a structured data. So this is what the major categories of your data. And the next part is big data. Okay, so even it is unstructured or unstructured, okay, based on some criteria I can say the data is called it as a big data. That means very first parameter is volume. Okay, when you have large amounts of data, you cannot able to store it in your relational database management system. Okay, so you have the large amounts of data set. Okay, that is one factor. In addition to the volume, you may have the different types of data, as well as you should consider the velocity also, at what rate the data has been generated. Okay, so even within a second, okay, within a millisecond, you can able to generate what is that, large amounts of data. Okay, 1 TB of data, okay, you can able to generate within a seconds. Okay, so in that case you can say the velocity is more. Okay, so if the data is comes under any of these category, then it is called it as a big data. Okay, so the sources is nothing but your web pages or videos or images or any social media. And we have an ecosystem also for the big data. Okay, so it comes under the four components. One is data device, who is collecting the data and generating the metadata, and data collector is there. And here in data collector part, we can gather the data from the device and the user. And we have an aggregator separately. It is used to compile collected data to extract meaningful information. And data, user and buyer, and finally who is going to benefit from the data. Okay, so and this is what your ecosystem structure. And we have some examples in the each and every components. We have an example. Okay, for example, if the data devices, you can take anything, that means GPS, cell phone, your laptop, camera, or all these things. And data collectors, it may be government sector, medical, or internet. And data aggregator is nothing but your web portals. And data users and buyers is nothing but the media. Okay, finally. And the information. Okay, in what way the information differ from the data? Information is nothing but you're trying to find some knowledge from the data. Okay, so that means you can say it's an intelligence and knowledge deriving process from the data. Okay, so then it is called it as an information. For example, you can say the product data. Okay, so and you have some list of products, and the product name is there and product price is there. This is just a data. Okay, so when it is turned into information, in the sense, when a retailer identifies the customer's preferred product, okay, and the brand names, okay, how he will identify the customer preference? Okay, by analyzing the buying habits and patterns of the customers. Okay, based on these two things, he can able to identify the customer preference. Okay, so in this case, it is called it as a information. And some of the value of information to a business, how, in what way the information will be helpful to a business, in the sense it reduces the cost, as well as it can able to provide the new services, and the targeted marketing campaigns can be managed. Okay, and you can able to identify the buying and spending pattern also, and the customer satisfaction and service, that is very very important for any type of a business. Okay, and can able to create a competitive advantage. Okay, so these are all the values of information to the business. Okay, this is what the summary of this session. The importance of information you can able to identify, and that what is data, what is information, okay, how it has been stored, okay, and what are the categories of data. Okay, so all these things have been covered in your introduction part. Thank you.